Hey kids, you're listening to a couple of annoyed grumblies, and this is the 138th Simpsons podcast.
Well, it's all right. Riding around in the breeze, well, it's all right. If you live the life you please, well, it's all right. Doing the best you can, well, it's all right. As long as you let
That's right, we're the Simpsons podcast that discusses the beloved animated series from seasons 11 and beyond and the newest episodes when they air. Why do we do it this way? Well, plenty of other podcasts have discussed the Golden Age, that being seasons 1 through 10, so we're tasked to find if any episodes from the latter seasons can match those Golden Age episodes. I say we because I'm just one annoyed grunt boy named Craig. With me, as always, is the other annoyed grunt boy,
Steve. Hello, Craig.
Hello, Steve. You're the Ariana Grande to my Cynthia Erivo. That's how we act in public. You know, I try to protect you. You're my fragile little porcelain doll.
And I speak with a mid-Atlantic accent for some reason, and I don't enjoy food.
May I carry you into the donut shop?
Please do.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, just watch weird videos of Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande just on press tours for the Wicked movie. They're just really weird and good for them, though. Just
Yeah, I wonder if that's what people think of that about us, but I did watch the first Wicked movie. Well, I watched most of it. No, I watched some of it. My wife and I got like an hour and a half in it, and we're like, there's still so much left, and this is only the first part of it. And we gave up. But I'm sure it's for those who like it. I know people who are big fans of Wicked, especially those in Boston. They wicked love Wicked. And yeah, I think that the whole Wizard of Oz thing is just fine.
yeah, your wife isn't really into musicals, right?
No, she hates them, actually.
Okay, there you go. But she likes like the Disney ones that she grew up with, like Beauty and the Beast.
Yes. And what's funny is she's from Hawaii, never seen Lilo and Stitch. But yeah, I remember I embarrassingly had that moment that a lot of dorky white people did in 2016 where I was really into the musical Hamilton, and she endured listening to a lot of it and hearing about it, but she never got into it at all. So, yeah.
I did go see Wicked for good, and it was Wicked for all right.
That is a very reasonable review.
Yeah, it just wasn't as good as the first one, in my opinion, but also like not, I'm not a big Ozfest guy. Or, the Oz genre.
I was just still waiting for J.K. Simmons to show up.
Still never saw Oz. Maybe we should do that for the Patreon.
It's about prison. I hate prisons.
That's true. No Ozfest for us. But, Steve, good news is we don't have to talk about Fortnite because I believe the Fortnite event is over. We questioned last week if there was another episode, but I'm assuming the Fortnite event ended, and that's how it was resolved, I'm assuming, and Homer's back to normal. I think they do like events like it's like a 1 month thing, isn't it?
Again, it should be 2 weeks, but yes.
They have like a new one now that's related to Kill Bill because they're finally releasing Kill Bill into the cinemas, the whole like 4-hour movie. And I heard that there was a deleted scene that was never filmed, and now they animated it with Fortnite and Tarantino. It just seems like a weird, like Tarantino, like, yeah, let's collaborate with this game that kids play.
Yeah, for somebody who's like such a film guy and like is so like beholden to the legacy of filmdom, like adding intermissions into Hateful Eight and just buying theaters and just being so earnest to what films mean to him. It's weird to like be like, yeah, we'll put it onto a free video game that'll explain my story.
And like as a fan of those movies, do I have to go into Fortnite to watch this part of the story, or is it like was it interspliced into the? I think that's what it was. They intersplice, or they put it into the 4-hour cut.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, this is gonna be weird having like Fortnite animation.
Yeah, and is that going to be the way that things are going to be now? Where like everything like, oh, there's a new Godfather movie, but you have to watch it through Fortnite.
I mean, we joke about that originally because the Star Wars Rise of Skywalker, they did the thing where it was canon to the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, so this is the hell that we live in.
Here's Fortnite. We're gonna do an improv for the community. Steve, do you want to be a Fortnite exec or No, you're going to be Steven Spielberg and I'm Fortnite exec, okay?
Okay. Wearing my hat.
The hat that says Amblin Entertainment, of course.
And you can do that Zoom thing that he does so well.
All right. I'll be your secretary as well. Mr. Spielberg, Johnny Fortnite's here to see you.
Oh, send him right in.
Master Spielberg, how are you doing?
I'm doing spectacular. Do you want to watch a movie?
I'm looking at your sales for your DVDs and Blu-rays here, and I think one is kind of lacking in sales, and I think we at Fortnite can boost those sales for you. If, of course, we just get a percentage of the DVD and streaming and all that stuff sales for you. And we have a whole slew of visual boards. Here it is. Schindler's List meets Fortnite. What do you think?
The possibilities are endless. I feel like in today's trying times, I feel like the message might get muddied a little bit about who we're actually rooting for.
Oh, you're right. That seems kind of problematic. Okay, how about the sales for your movie Munich? This time in Fortnite, you get to be the terrorists.
Again, I think it's a great idea, but I just worry that the message might not ring true with some of my fan base.
All right, you're right. So, the last one I got here is your 2012 Oscar-winning movie Lincoln, and in this one in Fortnite, you get to be John Wilkes Booth.
I love it. It's a role that everybody wants to play. Like, so many times when I'm playing video games, it's like, man, I wish I could show that smug, tall wrestler asshole who's boss. I'm on board.
Oh, good. The other two I don't think you would have approved. That is, of course, The Color of Purple and Amistad meets Fortnite.
Yeah, let's go with Lincoln.
Because he's a white guy, right? Okay. And scene. There you go. There's your ad-lib bit for the week, folks. Let's just get on with this week's episode, Steve. I don't know why we did that, because we never do that kind of stuff.
I wonder why.
I think we know why now. This week's episode is called Aunt Misbehavin. Patty and Bart team up for the ultimate prank, getting Homer declared legally dead. To their chagrin, Homer loves being officially dead, which leads Patty and Selma having a huge fight and Patty moving away to Palm Springfield. So why don't we go watch it and discuss?
Sounds good.
We'll be right back.
These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you.
And we're back. Today we're talking about Aunt Misbehavin'. It's the 9th episode of the 37th season. It's episode 799 in the show's run. Originally aired November 30th, 2025. The nerd code is 37ABF02. Written by Juliet Kaufman. Directed by Gabriel DeFrancesco. Showrunners are Rob LaZebnik and Matt Selman.
Alrighty, Juliet Kaufman is an assistant and writer, beginning her career in The Simpsons since 2016 as a production assistant, and she's currently Matt Selman's personal assistant, but she's also written another episode, Lisa's Belly, from season 33, which we reviewed way back in October of 2021. So after taking prescribed steroids for a medical issue for contaminated water at Quiet Rivers, Lisa and Bart gain weight. Lisa suffers from body anxiety, and Marge calls her chunky, and Bart becomes popular with the bullies. I think we like that episode, though I don't have a big memory of it.
Now, my memory isn't that also a Patty and Selma episode? Isn't it the one where Patty and Selma kind of tell Lisa to accept who you are? Huh. Someone likes Patty and Selma episodes.
I think so.
It's kind of funny that she's the personal assistant to Matt Selman. Is Matt, like, sitting in his office, being like, on his intercom's like, shh, Juliet, get in here real quick. And she's like, yes, Mr. Selman.
I think that's exactly what happens, yeah.
And Matt's like, go out there and write an episode or you're fired. Oh, okay, Mr. Selman. And bring me back my bologna water. He likes bologna water.
Of course, yeah. I think after Algene, pieced out, it went to someone's head and he's like, what the fuck? I'm in charge now.
Well, I think that's how it works.
I think production assistant work is really hard because you're dealing with a lot of egos and you're dealing with a lot of different kinds of people from different pay grades and they all kind of disrespect you. So kudos to Juliet for not only surviving that, not to say that The Simpsons is particularly hard, but just in general, but then to get, her not only one writing credit, but a second one. So good on you, Juliet.
Well, Steve, let's just begin the episode.
All right.
And it begins, as it always does, at the Spinster Arms apartment where Patty and Selma rise and shine. to greet the day. So after brushing their teeth, blow drying their hair, and putting their respective triangle and circle earrings, they are ready to get to work at Springfield Department of Motor Vehicles. And once settled in side by side at their workstations, the twins both gleefully deny 2 people their licenses. So they are then greeted by their supervisor, Ken.
Morning, ladies.
Get off our case, Ken. We're working as fast as we can. We're human beings, you toad.
I guess you haven't heard. I won that $100 million lottery, so my lawyer says I should retire. No one wants the supervisor job, so heads or tails?
Heads.
Heads. So the new supervisor is, the one with the circle earrings.
Selma, we're 2 different people, Ken.
You still share the same email?
Yes.
Fine. Selma, congratulations. I'll send you the onboarding info when I get back from the Ferrari dealership.
Supervisor. Huh, this could be good for us. Finally, no one breathing down our neck humps. Yeah, no one.
Ken's a lot of fun.
I love that voice, yeah. I also like the fact that Patty and Selma both have alarm clocks next to each other.
Steve, don't get into the alarm clock thing.
Okay,
about
fine.
Have them.
But to have 2.
Yeah, because they both have the same job, the same hours, I'm assuming.
Right.
So
Yeah, anyway.
But Steve, you're married to twins. I mean, to a twin, not.
Yeah, not both of them.
Did you ask your wife if her and her sister have alarm clocks?
Well, I lived with one of them for 15 years, 2 of them for 10 years, and neither one of them have had an alarm clock as far as I know.
The joke in this episode, or the beginning of this, with the earrings and the circle and the triangle, and we've discussed it before, how if you look at Selma's hair, it's shaped like an M, and you remember that Selma has an M in the name and Patty doesn't, so Patty is the other one. But back in the day, I remember like the first couple seasons, they used to have M and P earrings, so you'd know who is who. I don't know why they stopped doing that.
I know, it was like a real, like, easy Laverne and Shirley situation where you could just be like, oh, that's Patty and that's Selma. Additionally, as it's been revealed, Selma is straight and Patty is a lesbian, and you can tell that because Selma has an M in her name and she likes men, which begins with M, and Patty has a P because she likes women's
Penises.
Yes.
Oh, that doesn't help me at all.
I mean, not much will help you to get with Patty because she likes women. So sorry, Craig. So let's go over to the children's dentist's office, possibly Cavity Falls, where Lisa has yet another perfect checkup. And Bart's up next, but before he visits Dr. K, he runs into the bathroom to freshen up. And that freshening up is actually eating a whole sleeve of triple cookies, which are just sandwich cookies, not unlike Oreos or Hydrox, if you will. Once he's in the dentist's chair, Bart opens up wide to reveal the half-masticated cookies in and around his teeth. Seeing this, Dr. K screams in horror.
So then seeing the bill for the 4-hour cleaning, emergency whitening, and Oreo exposure therapy for the hygienist, Homer asks Bart if he has any idea how costly his prank was. So Bart wonders out loud if you could really put a price on that kind of comedy. And Bart now has an appointment with Dr. Homer, who has just the punishment to fit the crime.
Ooh, so with a power drill in his hand, Homer declares that it's time to open up and say to his next patient, Bart's Xbox. And Bart screams in his agony. Homer drills several holes in the gaming console, which Bart thinks he can feel. As the final hole is punctured, the Xbox's light turns from green to red.
I like this old tech here, because this is like Xbox 360. It's not even a current Xbox.
So I have, a Series S, I think, and it's just a white square. And I like the fact that it's just so simple and clean.
Yeah, mine's a black box. So when my house burns down, it'll be the only thing that exists.
If only your whole house was made out of Xbox.
Back at the DMV, Patty is busy bedazzling the back of a bathrobe to read, "The bitch is back." So newly promoted supervisor Selma witnesses the ever-growing line and tells her sister to put the dazzler down and pick up the denied stamp.
So that evening, Selma offers the Simpsons a slideshow, classic, displaying her new office with a window where she can keep an eye on her staff working, or Patty reading lesbian vampire erotica. So feeling bored and annoyed, Homer points his power drill to his own temple, but assures Marge that it's in reverse. And, speaking of vampire erotica, How do you think they approach menstruation? Like, is it a good thing? Because it's more blood.
Well, if it's lesbian vampire erotica, I'm sure that it counts to feeding
Right.
in like a sexy way.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's not my place to say.
It's also weird to like think about too, like vampires are all about like sex and blood. Does it mean like boy vampires can get erections because that's all about blood flow? So I'm assuming that works fine for vampires because they don't have a pumping heart, but like they're still got blood, right?
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, they probably get boners.
You know how I haven't died yet, but when you die, doesn't like rigor mortis hit in sometimes when, based off of the 1994 movie Clerks,
Of course.
there's a dead guy and he still has an erection because he died, right? So
Mhm.
does it mean when like male vampires are made, they have like a permanent erection?
That's, yeah, probably very possible. Yeah.
So that's why they have to wear like tight pants because they got to like hold it down.
Mhm.
All right, I think this is canon. All male vampires have permanent boners.
I like it. I mean, I want to suck your cock.
And is it vice versa with female vampires? Like, are they continually menstruating?
I mean, if they died during, maybe.
That's true. I don't think when women die, they get they don't get death period.
What a way to go.
All right, I think that's enough of our adult talk for this week, Steve.
All right,
Let's
we're
just
done.
continue,
Good.
yeah.
Yes.
After Selma brags about her air conditioner that prevents her from sweating like the common worker, Patty excuses herself to go to the can, and Marge begs that she use the upstairs bathroom and light a candle. We've all been there, Steve. After doing her business, Patty overhears Bart muttering to himself as he applies Band-Aids or adhesive strips, Steve. We don't know if they were
That's true. Yeah.
name brand, to his injured Xbox.
Oh, stupid Homer. If he mouth cookied a dentist, he'd be all like, who else could I mouth cookie? My life would be so awesome if Mom had never met him.
Sounds like you're finally seeing the light.
I hate Homer so much.
Perhaps the enemy of my brother-in-law is my nephew. You know, Selma and I have been planning something very special for Homer J. Simpson. But these days, Selma's too busy busting my clangers. I know a way to kill your dad.
Whoa, I don't want to murder the guy. Oh, crap, now I'm intrigued. Explain.
Not actually dead, just officially dead. All I gotta do is log in as my supervisor, Selma, with face recognition. Check this box, and Homer Simpson will be legally deceased. Trust me, it will make every aspect of his life a living hell. He won't even be able to rent a U-Haul.
Oh, he loves renting those things.
I love how much Homer loves to rent U-Hauls, but I think they missed an opportunity with jokes there because, the DMV, especially in Springfield, is infamously known as being ineffective and slow and antiquated. And the fact that they have a website that you can use on your phone, like an employee website that is really well done and that you can change things from your phone. I feel like they could have made some more humor from that, like about how from the worker's side, it's really efficient and it's actually the people who make it slow, not
Right.
the structure.
I think it was just meant to continue the story.
Probably, yeah. You're right.
But that is such a nice feature. And like, if it was that easy, I will probably talk about like Homer's situation later in the episode. But like, yeah, sounds great.
While driving, Homer swerves all over the road trying to dip his burrito into some salsa. He mocks the sauce, saying ghost pepper, more like Casper the Ghost Pepper, before that burn really sets in. So he's pulled over and claims that he was distracted due to someone throwing a burrito into his window. Chief Wiggum complains that nothing good like that ever happens to him.
Now we talk about cartoon food all the time. What do you think of that burrito Homer has?
I want to like it. Like, the cheese looks good. It just, I don't know. It doesn't quite look appetizing enough for me. What are your thoughts?
It looks like a wet burrito.
Yeah.
And I do love a wet burrito, but that needs to be with a fork and knife because
I think that's my issue is that he's eating a wet burrito with his hands, and burritos are already inherently messy, and so him eating that is just gonna get all over the place.
I know. I mean, and that's obviously the joke is the salsa is also just spilling all over the dashboard. I'm not I don't like a eat in a car situation. It's not my ideal. I mean, I do it, but only because, if we're going on a road trip, it's easier.
Yeah, I think like there's like the fry tax. So like if you get fast food, You have to eat a fry while you're in the car, like as soon as it comes out. That's just the law. But yeah, aside from that, I just wait until I'm in a place because, yeah, I don't like to eat in the car either.
So after Homer presents his license, Wiggum checks the database and learns that Homer is listed as dead. I don't know, knock on wood, but like, is that how like police officers just have like a little tablet with a swipe? It almost looks like, all right, here, tip me after I give you a ticket. That'd be kind of funny. Like that's how it is, because the way it just looks like a waitress or whatever at your table. Okay.
You're like, can I put honey butter on them? And then you're like, no. And then they give you a ticket.
Yeah. That could be in the punch up. So worried Homer asks if he can still rent a U-Haul, which is a nice callback. And Clancy notes that Homer does appear to be among the living, but the police machine is in charge. And so as a result, Homer can't get a ticket. So that theory too, like, should Homer not be allowed to drive?
I mean, you can't stop the dead from driving because they're dead. So I don't know.
Remember that scene in Ghostbusters when the cab driver was like a skeleton ghost and was driving around? That was a pretty good scene. So yeah, he was dead.
I'm pretty sure Bill Cosby drove a car in Ghost Dad too, so there's that.
And he was the bartender for the craft services.
Of course. That was a real sleeper hit.
Has anyone done a t-shirt of Jack Nicholson from The Shining talking to the bartender? But this time it's Bill Cosby is the bartender?
I think you've got your merch ready to go. I think it needs to be made, yeah.
Anyway, Bill Cosby jokes very timely.
So before sending Homer on his way, Chief Wiggum suggests he clear up the whole dead thing, otherwise he won't be able to pay taxes or union dues, and he won't receive any more spam phone calls. So Homer considers no taxes, no dues, and that last thing, and perhaps death can give Homer the life he's always dreamed of.
It's weird when he said spam phone calls, no Homer going, spam.
It's true.
So Homer checks the mailbox of 742 Evergreen Terrace to find a jury summons, a voting guide, and several utility bills. He rips them up and lifts his hands in joy as the shreds rain upon him. So he checks his credit score to find that he's gone from a negative 350 to a 0, thanks to his death.
Impressive. While napping in his hammock, Homer's visited by organ donor collectors. He wakes up, shocking one of the organ donor collectives, giving him a heart attack. And so the other two pick up the newly deceased collector and zip him up in a body bag, ready for his organs to be harvested. This is quality humor right there. I love that whole bit.
Yeah, the way you could barely describe the scene, Steve.
Sorry, it was very funny.
Yeah, the guy that has a heart attack looks like pretty healthy too. Young kid. Just the other guys are, all right, we got one.
He saw a ghost.
Some Krusty appears at the doorsteps of The Simpsons, sadly offering a hey, before noting that Homer was one of Krusty Burger's greatest patrons. He, along with the mascots Burger Reynolds and Princess Fry, induct Marge into the Krusty Burger Widow's free fast food for life club. So he hands a purple pillow with a shiny black credit card, allowing her all the junk food she can eat. I love the Burt Reynolds parody. It's such a it's like an old person's joke, like to make it Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, and when I first saw it, I really thought it was Tom Selleck.
That mascot, I think, sells reverse mortgages.
Oh, yes. But yeah, and also Princess Fry. That's also very funny, because she died.
R.I.P. Steve, too soon.
I'm sorry, and I'm sorry to Dofia Fayed as well. So once the door is shut, Homer appears from around the corner and takes the card, kissing it and remarking that he should have died years ago. So later, as Bart exits the android's dungeon and baseball card shop, he witnesses Homer with a wheelbarrow full of burgers and wonders how could things backfire so hard.
Wheelbarrow of burgers reminds me of the wheelbarrow full of tacos, comic book guy. He just came out of the comic book store.
That is funny.
Would you go for a wheelbarrow of burgers right about now?
Oh, yeah. Like some basic-ass cheeseburgers? That'd be good.
Yeah. From Krusty Burger?
Yeah, why not?
Well, over the DMV, Selma informs Patty that she has too much slack on her pin chains. So as the handbook says, there should be a maximum of 35 beads. And that's also Steve's maximum beads for his anus.
No more, no less.
She then offers the massive tome of a handbook to her sister, saying she should read it over her lunch.
So Patty offers some malicious compliance, taking your lunch then and there, eating a sloppy Joe over the handbook, slopping Joe all over the pages. And then Bart shows up saying that it may have been a mistake to kill Homer, and this upsets Selma even more. And as we'll hear in this clip, Marge is forced to offer her support for both of her sisters and to Lenny.
You didn't. Tell me you didn't. Big deal. I logged in as you and had Homer declared dead. You impersonated a DMV supervisor. You committed document fraud. And worst of all, you executed Operation Kill Fatso without me. What are you gonna do about it? Patricia Agatha Cruella Bouvier, you are fired!
Whoa.
Oh, it's just hitting me now. You two are twins.
I'm sorry she said that, Patty. Hold one sec. Selma, you can call her an A, you can call her a B, but you can't call her a... Oh, one sec. Yes, Lenny, I know they're twins.
Yes, Lenny, your eyes don't deceive you.
Hey,
What do you think the A and the B words were?
awesome, the best, and real cool.
So Marge hasn't had a moment of peace since Selma was promoted. As both of the twins have used her as a sounding board, Homer offers that life, such as his, is short and Marge should ghost those hags.
So Bart passes by a frozen yogurt shop El Yogo Loco, where Patty is being interviewed by a squeaky-voiced teen for a job. The young manager on duty informs Patty that if hired, she'll have to push the customers towards the heavier mix-ins such as cherries, jelly beans, and cookie dough, rather than the lighter mix-ins like coconut flakes, marshmallows, and sprinkles.
Well, Patty agrees, but says that she can only work Mondays and Wednesdays and Zoom only on Thursdays. Jeremy Friedman responds that the company usually tells the employees the schedule, and Patty thanks him for coming in, but doesn't think it'll work out. So as Patty leaves the yogurt parlor, Bart offers an apology.
Hey, Aunt Patty, I'm sorry I got you fired.
Oh, it's not your fault. Me and my sister were due for a falling out. She thinks she's so perfect, superior, bossy, know-it-all, Mom and Dad's favorite.
Wow, sounds like you got yourself a real Lisa there.
I guess you and I are sort of the black sheep, aren't we?
We're underachievers, and damn proud of it. But I'd be extra screwed up if people also confuse me for Lisa. You know, you don't have to look just like Selma.
Genetics seem to say otherwise.
There's gotta be something you can change to shake things up.
So in that scene, Bart is just like eating toppings behind him. It's like a very poor way to have an ice cream shop, like just having toppings just sitting out right in front of the door.
So there are some yogurt places that are self-serve.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but you're right. It is having it by the door is kind of dumb because people just reach in and grab it.
And no sneeze guard.
And no season guard. Yeah, that's it's a health violation waiting to happen. And especially since Jeremy's sitting right there, like he could stop him anytime. You're wasting money and spreading germs. It's bad.
Well, his name is Jeremy.
Ooh, good point.
Yeah, I think now I remember, like, if you just get like a base of yogurt and they put the toppings and then they just wait at the end. You have to pay by weight, right?
Right, which is why Jeremy wanted Patty to push the heavier items. Yeah.
Look, I'm dumb. I don't go to frozen yogurt places. I don't go to frozen ice cream places. I guess ice cream's always frozen.
Yeah, but frozen yogurt places are like a thing of like they still exist, but it feels so like early 2000s or maybe even 90s. Like, yeah, it's weird that they're still around.
I think my last ice cream adventure was a Cold Stone Creamery about like 5 or 4 years ago. And I remember like, well, I'm a big boy, so I could eat like 3 scoops. That's normal. Granted, at that time too, I had just probably got off of keto, so I wasn't like eating a lot of sugar or sweets during the keto. I was on keto for like good, 3 years?
Yeah, you were on it for a while.
Yeah, and during pandemic, that's when I got off keto. So this must have been like right after the pandemic. Anyways, but I just remember getting like 3 scoops of Cold Stone and then having like maybe 3 or 4 bites. And like, yeah, I can't do this. I'm done. Like, I just felt back as this giant bowl of ice cream. Like, I can't eat this shit.
And that's the thing that you can't like save for later either. Like it's a one-time thing.
Yeah, you can't refreeze your ice cream like from a parlor. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. Oh man, that's a bummer.
Yeah, but then also I think that's that point too. I'm like, you know what? I'm an adult. I don't need to eat this crap. And Cold Stone, in my opinion, I think is way too sweet.
Way too sweet and way overrated. Like I love a mix-in and I love ice cream. I've been making my own lately. And yeah, I just think that Stone Cold isn't my favorite. It's fine, but it is too sweet.
Yeah, I think just give me like the classic 3 Neapolitan ice cream bucket, and I'd be happy with that.
Every time I open it, there's no chocolate, though.
Yeah, you take the chocolate, then the strawberry, and the vanilla stays.
Mhm.
Is that how it always works?
I think so, yeah.
The last time we did get like ice cream from the store was Blue Bunny has like soft serve, and that shit's good.
Blue Bunny is great.
Yeah, vanilla. It's the flavor of ice cream.
It's one of my favorites. I also like that Bart is an underachiever and proud of it. A nice little callback.
It'd be cool if there was a T-shirt with him saying that.
That's a good idea. I do really like, though, like, Patty and Bart, like, finding common ground as being kind of like the black sheep of the family. Like, I'd imagine that the Bouviers are a bit more conservative than maybe she is, because even, like, when she came out, Marge was a little reluctant about it, and Bart being kind of a bad boy. Like, I like this dynamic. I think it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. Like, I like the idea of them hooking up. It's great. I mean, teaming up.
Right. Because clearly it wouldn't, because Bart has a penis, as we've seen. So after stroking her chin hairs, Patty decides to head to Harry Shear's, not Harry Shear, for a new do. Nice callback again. Julio works his magic, offering Patty a Grace Jones-style flat-top fade, but Patty thinks that it's a bit too 80s. He then offers Pippi Longstocking's pigtails, but Patty thinks that is too Wendy's. So Julio then forms her hair into the shape of a dachshund, which Patty also doesn't like.
Bart offers encouragement to his aunt, saying they're not there to just jump into the deep end. It's time to dive in the shallow end. So Patty does have an idea for a new style, but worries that it's too crazy. So she shows Julio a picture from her phone and gives him a renewed sense of life. And after some time, Bart is awoken from his hairdryer nap to witness the new Patty with a stylish coiffed do, and Bart is impressed, unlike Hans Moleman, who received that dachshund, saying, "People just do whatever they want with me."
It's a bleak sentence, Hans.
But nice hair.
Yeah, it works on him. I like it. Also, I like Patty's hair. She has kind of like a shaved side, kind of like a faux hawk combed over. It looks good.
It's a very modern look for her.
Indeed.
From these women who are stuck in the 80s.
Yes, and still watching MacGyver.
Yeah, we'll get to that when we get to that. I have some thoughts.
That night at the Spinster Arms apartments, someone tells her sister that her new hair looks ridiculous. They argue over who cares less, and then Selma shares her concerns regarding Jub Jub, who feels she has never seen more upset, although there are no concerns about her daughter Ling, wherever she may be. Selma then takes her complaints to Marge, who passes them along to Lisa.
Patty's out of control. First she gets a ridiculous haircut. And did I tell you what condiment she got on the TV remote? Yes, but Lisa hasn't heard yet. What did you tell her?
Under the bus, huh, Mom?
It was ketchup mustard and honey mustard. Mind if I smoke?
Again, yes. It sounds like you're going through a really tough time, Aunt Selma.
You have no idea what it's like living your whole life with a sibling whose only joy is making you miserable.
Actually, I know exactly what that's like.
Patty's always stunted my personal growth. I even stopped dating because she resented whenever I made a connection.
Interesting. Well, maybe it's time to dust off your online dating profile. How old is that photo?
It's not that old.
You're at a Howard Johnson's.
All right, Steve, I think it's time for our namesakes, the Annoyed Grunt Boys.
Oh, boy.
Because I have an annoyed grunt, because you brought it up earlier.
Sure.
And then you could tell me your annoyed grunt. So you're right about the Ling thing. Like, that just bothers me through this whole episode, that they mentioned Jub Jub, and I wonder, is it like, let's not bring up Ling again? Because, like, normal fans know about Jub Jub, but maybe people who haven't watched beyond season 10 have no memory or recollection of Ling.
I don't know. Like, it just seems like that happening was one of those things like Maud Flanders dying, Apu having 8 kids, the Van Houtens breaking up. Like, these are canonical events that happen within The Simpsons, and while they might not last forever, they're referenced forever. And I feel like Ling Bouvier was such an iconic thing that is part of it. And it bothers me too. Like, that is kind of affecting my whole thoughts on this episode in a little bit, because it's just weird how she's just been disappeared.
And not just Ling, but Maggie. Has she been in this episode? Or...
Has she been in this season?
Right. I think Baby's there for convenience of storytelling.
Yeah.
And as you know, like, the labor law rules in California that you have to have like a set of twins on the set, and it's just cost prohibitive for The Simpsons to have like 4 infants on the set of The Simpsons. So you have your actresses who play Maggie or your actresses who play Ling, and since baby's age, just trying to get a new baby every year to keep that same age,
Right.
It's kind of tough and probably expensive.
That is true.
Yeah, that part just, it's kind of what annoys me. Like, they don't bring up Ling, and I have like a punch up at the end. They should have just been just give us an image of Grandpa with Maggie and Ling, and him being like, when are the parents going to come and pick up their kids?
That's so good. That's perfect because and just in case, I was wondering that maybe we missed something, but like Ling had last appeared on January 1st, 2023 in My Life as a Vlog, which we reviewed. So it's not like they did anything with her. That is only a few years ago. So yeah, but I think your punch-up is perfect. Like, I think that's a great thing because that would answer everything.
Another thing that's it's pretty recent too. I think it was from a season finale a few years ago with Santa's Little Helper's mom.
Mm-hmm.
Like, became part of the Simpsons family, but I think they may reference it once since that episode, but we haven't seen, because they should technically have 2 dogs.
Right, of course, yeah.
No. Some things.
Yeah.
And where's that giant sphere in Springfield that we saw last week?
That's true.
And there's one more thing coming up from this episode I'll be annoyed about because of a reference to last week's episode, and we'll get to it when we get to it.
Okay, one last little thing from that clip is Lisa mentioned Howard Johnson, and there are still some Howard Johnsons. There's about 300 in 15 different countries across the world, but they're now known as Howard Johnson by Wyndham. Of course, it is a hotel now, but they're originally known as a restaurant, which I think Lisa was referring to. The official restaurant closed in 2022, but as an independent thing outside of the Wyndham Corporation, Howard Johnson hasn't been a thing since 2006. So that makes sense.
All right, maybe Howard Johnson's is the right
Yeah,
answer.
it's not bad.
That one? Okay. So Patty and Bart go to Rusty's Piercing, where if you pierce 2 nipples, the third is free.
Ooh.
Wait a minute. So inside, Rusty suggests that the best bang for your hole is the tragus, the third sexiest part of the ear. And Bart finds that to be really gross, so of course, Patty should do it.
So as she sits down, Rusty asks Patty if she has a fear of extreme pain, to which she doesn't, though she does have a fear of stupid questions. So Rusty is ready to enjoy poking Patty, and Bart is happy to watch, but once that hole is punctured, Bart passes out. So the following morning, Patty is awoken by Jub licking her ear and seeing an unknown man in her newly bedazzled bathrobe.
Who the hell are you?
Merle, I'm your sister's new nighttime friend, and you must be the infamous twin.
Did you sleep over?
Well, I didn't break in. Can I make you some eggs? It's a special recipe, same one they serve in the JFK Delta Lounge.
I see you've met, what's-his-face.
Merle!
We've got only 2 rules here. MacGyver every Sunday, and no unvetted Merles without the approval of both twins. I have no twin anymore. Ever since she weed-whacked half her head. This may be my infected tragus talking, but I'm done with this. All of this.
I hope you like tarragon.
At least my life coach isn't a 10-year-old boy. Every second I'm around you, I feel like I'm in prison. That's the one thing we have in common. I'm out of here. Have a nice life.
Big relationship question. Eggs runny or dry? I can live with either, but I gotta know now.
Before the clip played, I wanted to say how the animation of the needle poking through Patty and then coming out and seeing Bart's face and him fainting.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like that animation was really, really well done.
Yeah, I really like that. I think that I could spend more time in Rusty's piercing place. It's a lot of fun. And Rusty feels like a real guy.
If you go and get your nipples pierced, I get my nipple, one of them for free, probably.
Ooh, yeah. And for Rusty, it's a great deal because he has a superfluous third nipple.
Yeah. I'm assuming like your free nipple piercing would be another person.
One would assume, but you never know. So we just met Merle in that clip, and that is character actor extraordinaire Stephen Tobolowsky. You might recognize him from, Ned from Groundhog Day, Max from Selma and Louise, Hugo Jerry from Deadwood, or any of his other 300-plus roles. He is like, when you think of like character actors or like, who is that guy from that thing? He's like one of the number one guys. He's like the Judy Greer of male actors.
Yeah, I was looking at his IMDb, and I think his famous one, of course, is Ned Ryerson from Groundhog Day,
Mm-hmm.
and I had forgotten that he was on Glee.
Oh, yeah.
And his name was like, I don't have the IMDb up there, but his last name was the same as Groundhog's Day. He was like Stan Ryerson, so I thought that was a funny nod to Groundhog's Day that he's part of the. So what I'm saying was like Groundhog's Day and Glee in the same universe.
Ooh, it could be. I mean, it both felt like I was watching the same thing over and over again. So,
just a great character actor, and he's of course one of the good Stevens, right? Because he spells it with a PH.
That's
instead of a
right.
V. And a fun, like, little weird trivia fact about him, if I remember it correctly. He talked about it on a podcast I was listening to, how the band Radiohead essentially got their name from Stephen Tobolowsky, because he was talking to David Byrne of the Talking Heads, or he was friends with him, or...
I think it was from a movie that David Byrne made, which I'm looking at.
Okay, well, the way I remember the story, Stephen Tobolowsky was telling him that, like, Stephen Tobolowsky said that he could, like, read minds,
Mm-hmm.
and, like, he had, like, a radio head.
Oh, that's right,
that
yes.
He could hear people's, like, thoughts or whatever. And so then the Talking Heads wrote a song called Radiohead, and then the band Radiohead made their name from that song. So there you go.
Because Stephen Tobolowsky was in the David Byrne's Talking Heads movie, True Stories, which is kind of like a weird slice of life in Texas, and just John Goodman's in it. It's a weird, fun movie that is not, like, cohesive, but it's good.
But not for our Patreon.
No, of course not.
Well, it's kind of funny, too, that Merle, like, when I saw the caricature, I'm like, is that supposed to be Woody Allen?
Yeah.
But I didn't realize it was Stephen Tobolowsky until the end of the episode during the credits. I was like, whose voice is that? And he does a great job as Merle. I like it. So at breakfast the following morning, Marge and Homer are stunned to learn that Patty has moved to a place where she'll finally be happy and that she's never coming back. That place, full of bird-killing wind turbines, is Palm Springfield, where gays just want to have sun.
And I also like in that Homer is eating ice cream, speaking of ice cream, for breakfast. This thing gets a nice little touch.
That hurts my tummy thinking of that.
I get it, yeah. So as she passes through the brunch district, Patty tells Marge over the phone that she should have moved here years ago. She feels so free in that queer paradise, adding that they have slurs for straight people, not to mention an obscene amount of wasted water to keep the area green. And some of the fine eateries in the brunch district include...
Brunch Drunk Love,
The Lox Box,
The House of Seven Bagels,
Tiki Bar Bar,
and the Tahitery. All right, Steve, where you going?
Gotta go for the Tiki Bar Bar. I love a tiki drink.
Yeah, I think that's the right answer. Or either Brunch Drunk Love.
Yeah. She talks about the wait lines later on, and I won't wait in line for eggs. That's just a personal rule of mine. So, yeah.
Oh, for like brunch places?
Yeah.
I don't think I've done a brunch in many years. So, usually like a Sunday brunch, just do it at the house.
Of course, yeah. There's in Portland, there's a lot of places that have, supposedly the best brunch or breakfast that you can get, but it's always like a hour-long wait. And yeah, it just seems like such a waste of time to... I'm not in my 20s anymore. I don't have time to wait in line. I don't have anything else better to do, but I don't have time for that.
And I feel like that's like a young person's game anyways. Like, you're single, you're trying to impress someone, or you take them on a date. Like, yeah, we'll get. I don't know. Maybe it's like after a night of coitus.
Yeah, then you have to wait, and you have to get to know this person longer.
Yeah. I'm so glad we don't have to date anymore. I mean, at least for a few more years.
Yeah, exactly. Until our wives get smart. Marge wonders what Patty will do for a living, but luckily there's high demand for someone like her who has such experience in governmental regulatory enforcement. Patty has found a job in the Palm Springs Department of Historic Home Preservations, specifically in mid-century modern compliance and delayance.
Sounds like a job I'd like to have. Her first meeting is with a gentleman who wishes to change a kitchen faucet in his 48 Albert Fry house. He says that he found a perfect match of the original Pfister center set hammered copper faucet, but Patty argues that there is no patina. So the resident states that there's no patina since it's new, and, after time, and then Patty interrupts saying that time is a luxury we don't have, and denies the renovation with a big red stamp.
Ooh. So while on a double date at Luigi's, Merle asks Homer for a bite of his tiramisu, but Homer says that he doesn't have an extra spoon. But Merle is perfectly fine using Homer's licking it clean, which is so gross. I actually like Merle as a dude. Like, he seems like a nice guy. That's really gross, though. After this interaction, Homer demands the check. He then learns that Merle has a hidden talent.
A Costington store credit card. Oh, no, Homer, that rewards program is a joke. But lucky for you, I'm something of a credit card points guru. I'm going to get you into a premium platinum card. Now, I know you're going to have a little sticker shock at the annual fee, but you'll forget all about that once you're relaxing in airport lounges with all the meatballs you could fit on a 4-inch plate.
He's one of those points guys. I don't want my money to work for me.
So how much would you say you're spending on flights and hotels a month?
Oh, I thought things would be much better now that Patty's moved to Bed Death Valley. But this Merle guy, and I don't say this lightly, is a rough hang.
Well, Selma seems happy, and Patty seems like she's thriving in Palm Springfield. And what's more important than seeming?
Mom, Lisa and I have gotten closer to our aunts over the past couple of weeks, and we don't think they're doing so good.
But seems.
Steve, how much do you spend on hotels and flights a month?
Ooh, thousands upon thousands of dollars. No, I have credit cards. I'm not a points guy, though. I'm no Chris Hardwick.
Yeah, you'll see so many like credit card offers, and I'm like, this seems like too much math for me to figure out. I don't care.
Yeah, I do have one card that is associated with a computer company and an iPhone. It's an Apple card, I guess. I don't know why I'm being coy. They have really good points where like you get like 2 or 3% back on every purchase, and then you get like Apple dollars, which are to spend like money. And so sometimes I'll be buying groceries and I'll be like, oh, I have enough to pay for my groceries. And that's nice. But other than that, I'm not like a airlines flights guy because I take about maybe 1 or 2 flights a year. So it's not really worth it for me. But how about you?
Yeah, I have the Apple card too. And I thought you only could buy apples with it. So I've been buying lots of apples.
And then you had nothing to compare it to because you couldn't buy oranges.
Exactly. I have to get an orange phone, which is weird because the new iPhone 17 is orange. I don't get it. Yeah, Merle seems great. So Lisa feels that Selma is pretending to be like Merle, pointing out that she makes him go to Starbucks to use the bathroom and also makes him sleep on the porch of her building. Selma treats Merle like her own outdoor cat.
So looking at Patty's social media, Bart is concerned that she is also sadder than she's letting on, as shown by Patty moping in the pool, sitting on an inflatable flamingo, sadly sipping on a mimosa at a drag queen breakfast, and putting out a cigarette on a palm tree without the faintest hint of a smile.
So Marge is heartbroken that the superficial fixes didn't go as deep as she hoped. So she wonders how she can be happy while her siblings are so sad. Luckily for her, Bart and Lisa have a plan.
So Patty posted that she's attending a ladies' golf tournament in Palm Springfield the following weekend. Both of the twins love golf. Patty loves how fit the women are, and Selma loves how unfit the men are.
They just need to parent trap them into going to the same tournament and fix it. So Patty and Selma run into each other and realize their problems are dumb. And Marge likes this plan, but sees the tournament is sold out. Homer reluctantly knows of one guy who can help. That's right, the seat miser from last week's episode, Bart Simpson, because he can get any ticket.
That's true.
That's one of my other complaints. It's not a complaint. It's just like, hey, Bart could get tickets, couldn't he?
Yeah, that's right.
Anyways, let's go to a clip who Homer actually can get tickets from.
The only tickets left are in the Amex VIP lounge.
As someone who's already dead, it kills me to say this. There is one way into the Amex VIP lounge.
Amex? No problem. We all sign up for Air Shelbyville credit cards for, you can't believe they're being so dumb, 100K bonus miles each. Then we take a short flight to Sioux Falls, which will skyrocket us to the Diamond Mile tier, which we will immediately transfer to Comfort Lodge Discover Plus cards. After just one night in their Guaranteed Suites program, we're earning 5X, 10X, the multiples are insane. And then we bring it all home by booking a hot air balloon prime rib adventure for 20 people and then immediately canceling it. And that will get Homer to 1 million points or tickets to the Subaru Doc Martin LPGA Tournament VIP Amex Lounge.
Yeah, just another fun run from Stephen Tobiaski. Yeah, that's the thing about like airline points too. I don't understand that and I don't care to learn because I don't really fly at all. So
Right, and the points are so arbitrary. Like, you have 10,000 points. That means you can fly 2 miles.
Yes.
Like, I don't understand the exchange. I don't understand how it works. So it's beyond my knowledge. I'm dumb.
No, you just don't fly, and there's good reason not to fly these days.
Yeah, Delta had it all wrong. I don't love to fly, and it shows. Homer has to admit it. Merle has pulled off one hell of a points heist. But he hits a snag when his pass is scanned, and it shows him being dead. So the tickets are invalid since the card holder is deceased. So Marge looks to Merle for advice, and he's seen similar issues in comment threads regarding hotel points. And it seems that the only solution is that Homer needs to be alive again.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about this plot of Homer's death. How would you like that if that was in your situation? If, like, you could just magically say, you're not in the system anymore.
It does sound kind of nice.
I mean, we learned that there is obviously issues of not having identity, like with no like actual proof of living. You can't, like you said, get credit cards. So then you're just gonna have to like live off the land. But then you don't have to worry about taxes, so that's nice.
And I feel like you could like apply for credit cards, get them, and by the time they find out you're dead, you're in the clear. So
Yeah.
I mean, you could cheat the system a little bit.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Well, having tasted the sweet release of death, Homer is reluctant to join the living, and Homer passes out, but luckily Marge is there to give him an umbrella chair to catch his fall. So she pleads with Homer, saying that Patty and Selma are her closest family, and Homer shows empathy, noting how difficult it must be for Marge to be a widow with 3 kids. And Homer declares that Marge is the only person who he would lay down his death for.
Aw. So Lisa snaps a pic of Selma and uses it to log on to that very efficient Springfield mobile DMV site to switch Homer's status from dead to still alive, omitting the third option, prefer not to answer. On the golf course, Marge gives Bart the go-ahead, and he gets Patty's attention by pointing out Cynthia Nixon. So Lisa does the same to Selma, saying she'll be able to see Nellie Corda better if she takes 3 steps backwards. And with the sitcom gods on their sides, the Simpsons are able to reunite Patty and Selma.
I assume this was your idea? Another in your long list of stupid life decisions. No, it wasn't. And I wish the triplet we absorbed in the womb was you. You've always been jealous that I'm the hot one. Voi swallow destiny ruffligan Zanetan Gurgoy. Need outset the Neroi. Anagizler. Was disputed on a grenade. It's their secret twin language. They haven't used it since they were little kids.
What's happening down there in Hole 1?
It appears 2 aging spinsters' decades of repressed conflict has suddenly broken through to the surface.
Yep, 2 more casualties of this notoriously difficult Jack Nicklaus-designed par 5.
Stop, please stop it! It used to be you 2 against the world and Homer. What if this, what you 2 have, is the one truly great relationship in your life?
So to answer your question that you're probably going to ask, my wife and her twin did have a secret twin language when they were children, but that could have just been kids babbling. They don't currently have one.
You're probably right. It's just, because I hear my kid babble about things, and obviously it's nothing. But they are saying something. We just don't know.
Yeah. And I think that, maybe if you're growing up together and you are babbling, 2 people babbling, understanding each other might seem like a language. It's probably not actually a language.
This is like our podcast, right?
Totally.
I could barely understand what we're saying.
It's all nonsense.
Yeah, it is. So after the twins share a look, Marge asks Patty if she actually enjoys life in Palm Springfield. And Patty admits that she hates it there, pointing out the stupidity of moving to the desert when you have hot flashes. Not to mention the brunch lines. Steve, I would never stand in line for eggs. Just letting you know.
That's a good point, yeah.
She then gets an alert from one of those reservation buster thingies for the reservation she placed 2 days ago. And Marge then asks Selma if she actually wants to be with Merle. Selma, too, admits that she is unhappy.
No! I'm miserable. The sex is fine, but the endless cuddling after is killing me.
I'm a cuddler. Sex to me is foreplay. Cuddling is the main event.
Is it possible we've been twins for our whole lives, but we've never had a real, honest conversation? We know twin talk, but we gotta work on our sister talk. Evaluate. We need you back at work. Wait times are lower than ever. And no one's better than you at catching the dirty words people try to sneak on their vanity plates. See?
Again, like Merle, he seems like a good guy.
Just wants to cuddle.
So Selma points out a car that has a license plate that reads Mr. B8, Masturbate. But as Patty explains, that's actually just Mr. Burns' 8th car. And it's spelled out MSTERB8. So, seeing that she's needed, Patty agrees to return to her old life on one condition. It's time for Patty and Selma to get their own apartments.
So Patty moves out of unit 1599 and into 1600 next door. Although, wouldn't it be 1601 if it's next door?
Yeah, and it would be 16 across the hall. Yeah.
So after a sigh of freedom, texts her sister asking if she could come over to watch MacGyver. And as she returns to Patty's, Selma sees Merle leaving with his stuff and gives him a hand, pushing him downstairs. So we're assuming that Merle's dead now. She straight up murdered him.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Because, like, if they're on 1599...
That's the 15th.
That would mean that they're probably on the 15th. Yeah, or, well, it's hard to say, but yeah.
Yeah, because it is kind of a skyscraper. We see the exterior shot as an establishing shot. So I guess I could go back and count. Okay, so interesting. There is 15 stories. So theoretically, they probably, maybe 1600 is the last apartment. Because there is like a side apartments that are only 13 stories, but they're like shrunken stories. It's kind of weird. This the establishing shot at the beginning of the episode of the Spinster Apartments. About watching MacGyver. We didn't bring it up. Are they just watching like MacGyver on a streaming service or like using DVDs? Because the show has been on for like 30 years.
They did reboot it a couple years ago.
But that only lasted like, a season? So I thought they're watching the new MacGyver.
Yeah, whoa, damn. There are 95 episodes of the new MacGyver.
Oh, wow. Okay. It should be like Blue Bloods or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I could see that. Maybe NCIS or one of those shows. So
now like we're bringing up that they're on separate apartments. Will this be something that sticks canonically?
I doubt it.
All right, I believe you. So that's the episode. See the credits roll, and we see in memoriam of Homer, who died on 6/5 and was alive again on 6/24. Hey, 6/5. That was my daughter's birthday.
Oh wow. It's a shame she wasn't born 2 days later, because then it would be 6/7.
Oh man, she'd be the coolest kid in school right now. I think even kids don't care about that.
Or 2 weeks ago.
All right, Steve, that's our episode. How about we take a little break and come back and discuss?
Sounds great.
We'll be right back. All right, we're back. Let's finish this week's episode on Misbehavin. We'll talk about some of our favorite scenes, maybe some jokes we liked, maybe a most valuable jokester. Then we'll give it a review, find out what we're watching next week. But before all of that, we like to find something from an episode that could be a gift to our other co-host. And Steve, this one's going to be a food heavy gift, which I know is probably not what you want after Thanksgiving.
I know.
You get a prime rib dinner balloon ride. You can take your wife and her twin sister if you want, or just yourself.
Nice.
And eat their share of prime rib. It's whatever you want, Steve.
Nice.
But you're going to have to get there, of course. And when you're driving, you'll have to have a nice wet burrito while driving, of course, to dip it with salsa. You know, you got your prime rib, you got your burrito. You can't go without a wheelbarrow full of hamburgers, specifically like Krusty Burgers.
Mm-hmm.
And let's push this cart in here, and it's full of ice cream or frozen yogurt toppings, so you can just nibble on some sprinkles or gummy bears or cookie dough, whatever you want, anytime you want. No sneeze guard, so sneeze all you want.
That's you.
Here's some eggs that are kind of runny. You didn't ask if you liked runny or solid, so I just got you runny eggs. You know what? I have this tiramisu that I've been eating with my spoon, so open wide, I will give you a bite of my tiramisu using my spoon. And just shove it in your mouth and lick it all you want. And there you go. And that's your gifts.
Your saliva really adds to the coffee liqueur in the base. That's really nice. Thank you.
Oh, no, I was just drinking a lot of coffee liqueur.
Yeah. So was I. So it's hard to tell. That's very nice of you, Craig. And I got you some things as well. I did get you a tragus piercing, so you can look sexy with your third sexiest hole on your ear. And to add to that sexiness, I also got you a bathrobe, which says "the bitch is back" on it's bedazzled on the back of the robe, so you can look good in that. But should that not get you out of trouble, I did get you a police tablet like Wiggum had, so you can arrest people or find out if they're dead or living, or just do all the bad things that police do throughout their day-to-day careers. And finally, I got you a Xbox 360 with speed holes to make it run faster.
I can't wait to play the first Halo on it.
Ooh, yes. Or maybe Madden 97.
Sure.
Yeah.
Steve, what made you laugh in this episode?
Ooh, well, I did like some of the outliers of this episode. I enjoyed Ken, the supervisor who won the lottery. I really enjoyed the organ donor collectors who woke up Homer, had a heart attack, and then collected one of the organ donor collectors. I liked Bart in this episode. I thought he was a lot of fun. I enjoyed his interaction with Patty. But if I had to give a most valuable jokester, I gotta give it to Merle. The way that his character is developed as like a sweet if dumb guy who doesn't understand boundaries but means well and knows how to use a credit card point. I just think he's a lot of fun, and sadly he's dead, but I wish we could have seen more of him. What do you think, Craig?
Yeah, all the things that you said, definitely my favorites. You're right, Bart in the dentist was great. I love the direction of this episode, especially the animation, especially when she's getting pierced. And like I said in the scene, just the visual of the needle going through that view and then seeing Bart and then him passing out. And Patty and Selma, I said it probably before in the episode that we talked about Lisa's belly, that Patty and Selma have always just been kind of the like one-note characters, like the smoking, MacGyver, and shitty to Homer. And then when you actually get to like develop their characters, like flesh them out, like they did with Wing, the adoption episode, or the coming out episode. It's nice, like, because they're sympathetic characters now. Like, you don't hate them like you're supposed to, because you're always supposed to be on Homer's side. But I think like this episode, especially like when Patty gets a new haircut, right? Like she looks cool and like our age, like she's like an older millennial, like an older single millennial. Like it just I can see her hanging out in Portland
For sure.
at the sports bra, the female sports bar. So I think Patty and Selma, I think, are great in this episode because you get the two twin siblings, like one, like you said, the outlier, like Bart, and then one hanging out with Lisa. Like the kids are great. Homer's wonderful. Maybe they've done up more of the Homer playing dead, but I think you got enough. Maybe you got enough of that. And you're right. I think given Stephen Tobolowsky the MVJ, because it's a character that I think we haven't seen. Like he's a little nebbish, nerdy guy, but like he has passions and seems like a general like nice person, just wants to help people. I think he's a cool character, and sadly, like you said, he's dead. But maybe this episode gets repeated, Groundhog's Day style.
Ooh.
Or Palm Springs style, because they make fun of Palm Springs, and the movie Palm Springs is essentially just Groundhog's Day, but with Andy Samberg and Christian Milioti. Yeah, but overall, Steve, what do you think of this episode?
The whole Ling situation does bother me a whole hell of a lot. Just erasing a whole character who was kind of important to B characters who, like as you mentioned, don't have a ton of things personality wise. However, I think that the way that this added depth to both of them, and the way that they both kind of got to find their own identity, I think works really well. And I love the Bart and Patty finding themselves to be the black sheeps of the family. I think that's so interesting. Seeing Palm Springfield is a lot of fun. I kind of wish we could have saw more of that. I think Merle as a character, really good. We've had Homer dead before a couple of times, but I think that the way that they did it here was really funny. As you mentioned, the direction is really good. It's a really good-looking episode. I love the beginning in the dentist office with the Oreos. I think that's such a funny gag. And all in all, I think that this episode works really well. It is like a little sitcom tropey with the parent trapping of them, but I think that's, we're in a sitcom. It's fun, so it works. So yeah, all in all, I had fun with this episode. I think it's a rewatch. I like delving into Patty and Selma, and the way that they use The Simpsons really worked. I think Marge as kind of the go-between between the two and Lenny was fun, and I like Lenny realizing that they're twins after so many years. So yeah, I think that all in all, this is a good episode, and I recommend it. And if I had to give it a numerical ranking, in the original run of MacGyver with the incomparable Richard Dean Anderson, there were 139 episodes. So out of 139, I'm going to give this 123. What are your thoughts, Craig?
Good answer. Well, I agree with you, Steve. I think this is a fun episode. It's just the Ling factor. But I'm also wondering if, they don't even mention Maggie. I don't think she's in the episode. When they're in Palm Springfield at the tournament, Maggie's not there. But I'm just saying, and I said in the episode, just acknowledge Ling's existence, please.
Mm-hmm.
They got Jub. They acknowledged Jub, but they didn't acknowledge Ling. Maybe it's just the father in me that I want our children to be acknowledged.
It's a valid point.
But like I said, I kind of already gave my review when I was just saying my favorite scenes. But I think that's it is a rewatchable episode, and I like the Patty and Selma aspect. And you're right, Steve Tobolowsky's great, and the parts with Homer. Yeah, this is all around great episode. I would give it a ranking, and I'm going to, Steve. And of course, Stephen Tobolowsky, probably most famous role, like we said, is Groundhog's Day. And someone did the math of how long actually Bill Murray was trapped, and they say it estimates anywhere from 10 to 30 years, but the most cited calculation being 33 years and 350 days.
Wow.
So, if they just say, 334 years.
Mm-hmm.
So out of 33 years and 350 days, I'll give this episode 30 years and 420 days.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Steve?
Yes.
We're going to have a new episode next week. We're still doing new episodes. It seems like, I think we discussed this last year, how they're just trying to push all these episodes, and then Family Guy takes its spot, right? The 8 p.m. like they did last year, during the winter to spring. But I think the reason why you got to have a new episode next week, Steve, it is monumental. In fact, it's how many hamburgers you could eat in one sitting.
Wow.
Or for you, how many coffees you drink a day. Steve, we're doing the 800th episode of The Simpsons.
Whoa. That's huge.
What do you think the episode is called?
Wow. 800 episode. That's huge. I think that we're going to get a return of the autodialer, because it's going to be called 1-800-Simpsons.
That's actually a really good title. I'm not sure why it isn't. It's actually called Guess Who's Coming to Skinner.
Oh, wow. Guess Who's Coming to Skinner.
What do you think that title means?
Well, I think that Agnes Skinner has a date that is coming to dinner, and that date is the father of Seymour Skinner. No, not the Seymour Skinner that we know and love, but the one who we don't love, voiced by Martin Sheen, who's also the voice of this one. So basically, the real Seymour Skinner's dad comes home. He turns out he wasn't dead. And so they start dating again, and that upsets Seymour, Armin Tanzarian, because, it's not his real daddy, and so they have to learn to enjoy each other. And in the B-plot, Mr. Teeny solves the murder of a sex worker because they call him Mr. Teeny.
That does make for a great plot. I would like to see that, but unfortunately, that is wrong. When Principal Skinner discovers that one of his students is a runaway who has been living in the school library, he has to take the snarky, difficult kid into his home and is forced into a role he's never expected or wanted, being a parent.
Whoa, that is a plot of Growing Pains with Leonardo DiCaprio.
And we have some guest stars, Steve. We have Karen Culkin, we have Karen Gillian, and we have Kurtwood Smith.
Wow.
And Barry Sonnenfeld. And returning Kerry Washington, of course, as Miss Peyton. But, she's part of the cast now. Karen Gillian returning as Maisie McWeldon McDougal, which I believe is Willie's wife. So at least that's canonized, right?
That's right, until she disappears forever like Ling.
And Santa's Little Helper's mom.
Mm-hmm.
and Uncle Herb and Rat Boy. What's his name?
Bart.
Yeah, and Maggie.
Hugo.
Hugo, exactly. Yeah. So does this seem as for a monumental 800th episode?
I think it could be. It's hard to say what a star is these days because I feel like in the 90s, you get Michael Jackson. Oh, or you didn't because that episode never happened. But you get like a big star like an Alec Baldwin or a Mel Gibson. Those are stars. But in today's modern world, I think getting Kieran Culkin and the other Kieran, those are good gets. And so I'm excited for this one.
Yeah, of course, it's 800. We're only on episode 355, so theoretically, next week is our 356. Or should we just release our 800th episode, which is this episode?
Maybe we should.
Because we've released all other episodes. We've recorded all of them, but, we should just release our 800th episode and go on from 800 to 801 after next week.
That's pretty smart. I like that.
Well, we'll play it by ear, Steve. Those files, I just got to find them all. They're just all in the cabinets.
Of course.
Seasons 1 through 10 that we've recorded. This is pre-internet. We had to record on wax cylinders.
Yes. So for the first time in my life, I'm saying, release those files.
I forgot to mention, it was written by John Freak and directed by Rob Oliver. So 2 classic directors and writers. All right. Well, Steve, I hope next week's episode will be 800 giggles.
Indeed.
All right. Well, folks, let us know if you giggle by go ahead and contacting us on social media, like at Instagram or Threads or YouTube at 13simpsons, or you can email us at 13simpsons@gmail.com.
And hey, if you like what we're doing, you can get more of it by going to patreon.com/annoyedgruntboys and sign up to get a bonus episode a week. It's only $5 a month, and we do all kinds of fun stuff. In fact, Craig, what are we doing this week?
Well, Steve, because this week's guest star was, of course, Stephen Tobolowsky, and wow, there's so many Stephen Tobolowsky products we can watch. Like Groundhog's Day seems obvious, but we're not in the Groundhog's Day season, so we're not going to do that. And I've seen it so many times, I don't need to see it right now. We could do an episode of Fuller House he was on. We could do Glee. We could do anything he's done because he's been in everything. But since he is a performer and, at one point, a writer and director, he wrote a movie and directed it in 1988 called Two Idiots on Hollywood. Now, this movie, probably hard to find, but if you want to watch it, it's free on YouTube. So to our Patreon listeners, if you want to watch it, just type in Two Idiots in Hollywood 1988, and it's there for your viewing pleasure. It's an hour and 27 minutes long. So it's a film he wrote and directed, and the quality looks very much like taken off of a VHS copy, but I think we're going to do it, Steve. Do you know anything about this film? I do not.
I do not either. I first learned about it today when you mentioned it. I know it was horribly panned when it came out by the LA Times, calling it the worst film of the film festival that it was entered into. But I am incredibly curious about it because it seems like something that you and I may have written at some point. So yeah, I'm really kind of excited to see what this is all about. And it has some cool people like the aforementioned Kurtwood Smith,
who will be in next week's episode of The Simpsons. So it's perfect. All right. And don't forget to check out our TeePublic site, tpublic.com/user/annoyedgruntboys to get some Annoyed Gruntboy merch. You can get shirts, hats, socks, fanny packs, shorts. Everything is there. Do they have temporary tattoos yet? They should.
Yes, they should.
All right. Well, for this week, I've been Annoyed Gruntboy Craig.
And I've been Annoyed Gruntboy Steve.
And remember, the sex is fine, but the endless cuddling after is killing me.
What's more important than seeming?
Sex to me is foreplay, cuddling is the main event.